My girlfriend told me she was not in love with me anymore, but she still wanted to stay together. I agreed. Now she is panicking about what that actually means. I need perspective because I genuinely do not know if I am handling this wrong or if I just finally started handling it correctly. I am Jack, 35, risk compliance manager at a regional financial firm in Denver. My girlfriend Jessica is 31, does lifestyle marketing consulting, basically brand partnerships and social content for wellness companies. 3 years together, shared 2-bedroom condo in Highlands, split expenses. It always worked smoothly until 3 weeks ago. We were finishing dinner at home. Nothing felt off. I told her I loved her casually while doing dishes. She did not say it back. The silence stretched. Then she asked if we could talk seriously. That got my attention because Jessica does not usually ask for serious talks. She just talks. We sat down and she said she needed to be honest. She cared about me deeply but did not feel romantically in love anymore. Before I could process that, she added she did not want to break up. What we have still works, she said. Removing the pressure of romantic expectations might make things healthier and more mature. She used the word mature 3 times. Like that made it better. I sat there trying to understand what I was supposed to say. She kept explaining she valued our partnership, our home, our routines. She just needed me to understand the romantic intensity was not there, and she did not want to fake it. She made it sound like emotional honesty was the entire point. Like I should thank her for the clarity. I asked one question. Are we redefining expectations or ending things? She said redefining, absolutely. She looked so relieved when I asked that. She even smiled. Like I had just given her permission to have her cake and eat it too, so I agreed. I told her I appreciated the honesty and that I understood what she was saying. She hugged me. Thanked me for being so understanding. We went to bed. Separate sides, no contact. That was new, but I figured that was part of the redefinition she wanted. The next morning I woke up and something clicked. If we were redefining expectations, I needed to redefine my behavior to match. She wanted relationship structure without romantic obligation. That meant I was also no longer operating under romantic obligation. It was not anger or spite. It was pure logic. She had set new terms. I was going to honor them exactly as stated. I did not tell her this. I just started adjusting. I stopped planning date nights, stopped managing our social calendar and remembering her friends' birthdays, stopped thinking about anniversary timelines or future trips we had vaguely discussed, stopped checking in throughout the day just to see how she was doing or if she needed anything. I kept things polite, respectful, neutral, still paid my half of rent on time, kept my areas clean, was civil during the occasional conversations we had. But I stopped performing emotional labor that romantic partners do, the invisible work of caring. Jessica noticed within days but said nothing directly. She would mention that I seemed distant or ask if I was okay. I would say I was fine and that I was just respecting the new boundaries. She would nod, but she looked confused. I think she expected me to be upset or to fight for her or to try to win her back. I was none of those things. I was not upset. I was compliant. I was giving her exactly what she asked for. Last week she asked if I was punishing her. I said no. I was adjusting my expectations to match hers. She said that was not what she meant. I asked what she did mean then. She could not answer. Just said she thought we would still feel like a team. 2 days ago, Jessica got a paid brand collaboration opportunity for a wellness retreat company. Good money, but the contract was confusing and the payment structure was vague. Normally, I would help her analyze it line by line. I have done that for every freelance contract she has signed in 2 years. She knows I am good at reading the fine print because of my compliance background. She came to me with her laptop and asked me to look it over. I was making dinner. I glanced at the screen and told her she should probably run it by a lawyer or an accountant since it involved a significant amount of money. She stared at me like I had said something insane. She asked why I would not just help her like I always do. I said I was not a lawyer and did not want to give her bad advice on something this important to her income. She got frustrated, said I was being difficult on purpose, Said I had always helped before and there was no reason I could not help now. I stayed calm. Told her the reason was that romantic partners help navigate contracts and financial decisions because they are building a shared future and their interests are aligned. We were not building a shared future anymore. That meant she needed to handle her professional decisions independently or hire appropriate professionals. She stared at me for a long moment. Then she closed her laptop and left the room. She has been cold to me since, texting friends more, spending more time out of the condo. I do not mind. I have been using that time to look at smaller apartments closer to my office. Recalculating my budget without factoring in shared expenses or her unpredictable income. She has not asked me about any of that. I think she assumes I am just processing and eventually things will settle back to normal. They will not. She defined the relationship as something without romantic love. I am treating it exactly that way. She wanted security of partnership without emotional responsibility. I do not think that arrangement is sustainable. Am I wrong? Should I be trying harder to make this work? Or did she set terms that inevitably lead here? Update 2 weeks since original post. Things escalated quietly. No shouting, just slow unraveling. Jessica hosted friends at our condo last Saturday. I stayed in background. Made sure place was clean, picked up wine and snacks, did not engage much. Overheard her tell a friend we are in a different place but figuring it out. I did not correct her. Stayed polite and distant. Her friend Maya asked if I was okay. Said I seemed detached. I told her Jessica and I were navigating changes. Maya looked concerned but did not push. After everyone left, Jessica asked why I was being weird. I reminded her I used to be social when I was her romantic partner. Now I was her cohabitating associate under revised terms. She did not like that phrasing. The bigger issue came 3 days ago. Jessica's freelance income is inconsistent, always manageable because I quietly covered shared costs during slow months. Pick up groceries, cover internet, handle dinner tabs, something romantic partners do. Last month I stopped. Split everything exactly in half. Ordered takeout, requested her half immediately. She grabbed groceries, I paid back exactly what I consumed. Removed her from Spotify Family Plan and Costco membership. Canceled shared subscriptions, moved to individual accounts. Did this gradually without announcing. She noticed when Spotify stopped working. I explained I restructured to individual plans since we were no longer a romantic partnership. She asked why I did not talk to her first. I said these were my personal accounts and she was not entitled under our revised arrangement. That was when she got visibly upset. Said I was nickel and dimming her, being petty. I told her I was being accurate. She said I was punishing her for honesty. I said I was respecting her honesty by adjusting behavior to match the relationship she described. She accused me of not caring anymore. Said I was treating her like a stranger. I told her I was treating her like someone I share a lease with who told me she was not in love with me. She started crying. Said that was not what she meant. I asked her to explain what she did mean. She said she wanted less pressure but still wanted me. I told her less pressure meant less commitment. Less commitment meant I was also less committed. She said that was not fair. I said it was exactly fair. She has been at a friend's place 2 nights. Texted yesterday needing space to think. I said that was fine. I have been looking at studio apartments. Found one in Capitol Hill, smaller but cheaper and closer to work. Seriously considering it. Some asked if I still have feelings for her. Honestly, I do not know. I think I did until she told me she was not in love. After that, something turned off. Not intentional, just happened. I started seeing her as someone who wanted convenience without connection. Once I saw it that way, everything made sense. I do not think I am being cruel. I think I am being consistent. Maybe that feels like cruelty when someone expected you to stay fully committed despite them withdrawing first. Update 2. Jessica came back 4 days after my last update. Did not text ahead. Just showed up with her bag acting like nothing happened. Asked about dinner and leftovers. I said I had eaten and was not sure what she wanted me to say. She looked annoyed. Said she thought we were past all the weirdness. We were not past anything. Over the next week, the financial reality set in. Her income is unpredictable. Some months decent money, others almost nothing. Always manageable because I quietly absorbed the gaps, covered extras without tracking. Handled larger expenses during slow periods. I stopped entirely. Everything split exactly in half now. If she does not have money for groceries, she does not get them. If she wants delivery, she pays her own meal. Internet bill due, I send payment request and do not pay until she does. She started eating smaller portions. Stopped ordering coffee out. Started talking about part-time retail work. I do not think she realized how much I was subsidizing. Last Tuesday was her birthday. Normally, I would plan something elaborate. Last year, I surprised her with a weekend cabin rental in the mountains near Breckenridge. Cost me almost $800, but she posted about it for a week and said it was the most thoughtful thing anyone had ever done. Year before that, I organized a surprise dinner with 8 of her closest friends at her favorite restaurant downtown, coordinated the whole thing secretly. This year, I did nothing. I said happy birthday to her in the morning when I saw her in the kitchen. That was it. She did not say anything about it at first, but by evening she was clearly waiting for something to happen. She kept checking her phone, kept glancing at me. Around 8 at night, she asked casually if I had any plans for the evening. I said no. She asked if I wanted to go grab dinner somewhere, maybe that Thai place she likes. I said I had already eaten, but she was welcome to go out if she wanted. I could tell she was waiting for me to say more, to suggest we go together, to acknowledge what day it was in some meaningful way. I did not. She stared at me for a long moment. Then she went to her room and closed the door. Not slammed it, just closed it quietly. Somehow that felt worse. I heard her on the phone with one of her friends later that night. Her voice was thick with crying. She said she could not believe I forgot her birthday. Said she did not know who I was anymore. Said 3 years together and I could not even acknowledge her birthday properly. I did not forget. I remembered perfectly. I just did not treat it as my responsibility to celebrate anymore. The next day she confronted me directly. Came out of her room in the morning and said we needed to talk about last night. She said it was cruel to ignore her birthday after 3 years together, that it hurt more than anything else I had done. I told her I did not ignore it. I acknowledged it. I just did not celebrate it the way a romantic partner would because I was no longer functioning as her romantic partner according to the terms she had set. She said I was being ridiculous. That birthdays were not about romance. They were about basic human decency and caring about someone. I told her they were about care and effort and emotional investment, all of which require a foundation of mutual love and commitment. She had explicitly removed love from our arrangement. I was simply adjusting the effort level to match. She told me I was overthinking everything and using logic to be cruel. I was not being cruel. I was being consistent. I was applying her framework. 2 days ago something shifted. We were in the living room, both on phones, not talking. She suddenly put hers down and asked directly, "Do you even still want me here?" I thought about answering honestly. I told her I wanted stability, valued not having conflict, appreciated we could share space without drama, but none required love. She said love was not part of the structure. I was operating within the structure she defined. She asked if I was saying I did not love her. I told her love was not a requirement according to her. She asked if that meant I did not. I did not answer. She started crying. Said she could not believe I was doing this. I asked what exactly I was doing. She said making her feel unwanted. I said she made me feel expendable when she told me she was not in love but expected me to stay committed. She said that was different. I asked how. She could not explain. That night she stayed in her room. I heard her on the phone for hours talking to friends or parents. Yesterday morning she tried a different approach. Warmer. Made coffee for us both, asked about work, touched my arm walking past. I recognized it, trying to re-engage me emotionally. I did not reciprocate, thanked her for coffee, answered briefly. Did not lean into her touch, stayed neutral. By afternoon she was frustrated, asked why I was being cold. I said I was being consistent. She wanted things back to how they were. I asked which part. The part where she loved me or where I acted like she did even though she did not. She could not answer. Some asked if I am trying to teach her a lesson. I am not. I am living by the terms she set. If that makes her uncomfortable, she did not think through what she was asking. She wanted benefits without obligation to reciprocate feelings. Not fair or sustainable. Lease renewal is in 6 weeks. Neither signed. Both waiting. Final update. The lease renewal notice arrived 10 days ago. Sat on the counter 3 days before Jessica brought it up. Asked if I had looked at it. I said yes. She asked if I was renewing. I said no. She looked shocked. I told her I had already signed a lease on a 1-bedroom in Capitol Hill. Smaller, quieter, closer to work. Lower rent. Starts in 4 weeks. Deposit paid, movers scheduled. She asked when I planned to tell her. I said I was telling her now. She asked why I did not discuss it first. I said we were not building a shared future. She said that was unfair. I asked what part. No answer. She spent 2 days trying to convince me to stay. Said we could work things out. Said maybe she was wrong about not being in love. Needed time to figure out feelings, and I was not giving her that. I told her she had time. 3 years of me fully committed. She used that to decide she was not in love. I respected that. Now I was making my own decision. She accused me of being cold and calculated, punishing her for honesty. I told her I was adjusting to reality. She said I was giving up too easily. I said I was accepting the relationship she described and choosing not to live in it. We had one final conversation 2 nights ago. She was calmer. Sat across from me at the table and asked if there was anything she could do to change my mind about moving. I thought about it and told her honestly I did not think so. She asked if I still cared at all. I said I did, but caring was not the same as committing. Then she said something unexpected. Admitted that when she told me she was not in love, she was not actually sure if that was true. She had been feeling disconnected and overwhelmed. Thought maybe removing the pressure of romantic expectations would make things feel easier. Thought I would stay the same and eventually her feelings would come back. Did not realize removing love would remove everything else too. I asked what she thought a relationship without love looked like. She said friendship with benefits and shared space. I told her that was not a relationship. That was convenience. She started crying. Said she made a terrible mistake. Was not ready to lose me. I told her she was not losing me now. She already let me go weeks ago. This was just the part where I stopped pretending that had not happened. She asked if I even wanted her anymore, if I could see any future with her. I told her I wanted a partner who was all in. Someone who knew they wanted to be with me, not someone who wanted the structure of commitment without the emotional weight of it. I told her that was not meant as a criticism of her or her feelings. It was just incompatible with what I needed from a relationship. She said she could be all in now, that she understood what she wanted now. That losing me made her realize she did love me after all. I told her it was too late for that. Not because I was angry or trying to punish her, but because I had already started building a life without her in it. I had already emotionally moved on. I had already stopped seeing us as a unit building a future together. She had set that process in motion when she redefined what we were. I just followed through. She asked if I even wanted her anymore. I told her I wanted a partner who was all in, not someone who wanted structure of commitment without emotional weight. That was not criticism, just incompatible with what I needed. She said she could be all in now. I told her it was too late, not because I was angry, but because I had already started building a life without her. Already emotionally moved on. Already stopped seeing us as a unit. She set that process in motion when she redefined what we were. I just followed through. She asked what she was supposed to do about the lease. I told her she could renew on her own if affordable, find a roommate or move somewhere smaller. Her decisions. I was not factoring into them. She said I was leaving her with all the consequences. I told her consequences were not mine to carry. She made a choice about the relationship. I made one about my future. Both had consequences. Hers just became visible faster. I moved out last weekend. The 1-bedroom is quiet. Mine. I do not navigate someone else's uncertainty or manage a one-sided relationship. Jessica texted days later. Said she hoped I was happy and was sorry. I told her no apology needed. She made a decision based on what she thought she wanted. I made one based on what I knew I needed. Neither wrong. Just incompatible. Many said I was too cold or gave up easily, maybe. But staying where someone tells you they are not in love is not perseverance. Leaving is the only logical response. She wanted love optional, I wanted it foundational. Those cannot coexist. She thought removing love only changed her obligations. Did not realize it removed mine too. I do not regret this. I was fair. Consistent. I respected both of us enough to take her words seriously instead of waiting around hoping she would change her mind. I am doing well now. Better than well. I have clarity, space. A life that is entirely my own. That feels right. For anyone in similar situations, when someone says they are not in love but wants to stay together, they are asking you to accept less while they figure out if they can do better. Do not accept less. Do not wait. Do not feel guilty for protecting yourself. Love is not optional in a partnership. Without it, everything else is just logistics.